I sit at our usual family brunch spot, quietly sipping my coffee. The gentle hum of conversations fills the air, but it's impossible to ignore Sierra. She's never shy about commanding attention. As usual, she launches into a story about her fabulous job at an accounting firm, the one she used to have. And then, as if on cue, her gaze shifts to me. Crazy how Naomi still doesn't have a real job, she says, half laughing, half serious. My heart lurches in that familiar way, but I keep my face calm, forcing myself not to react. Mom's scolding tone breaks through. Sierra, stop. You know that's uncalled for. But Sierra simply shrugs, uninterested in the reprimand, and shifts the conversation back to herself. I remain silent. As always, Dad tries to steer the conversation in a different direction, but Sierra's smirk lingers in the air, and I can feel the weight of it. Beneath the table, I feel Mom's hands squeeze mine gently. I force a small smile, the same smile I've worn 1,000 times before. Nobody knows about my real work, except for a few close friends. I've chosen to remain in the shadows because, frankly, the spotlight never felt comfortable. But Sierra? She thrives in it. As she continues to talk about her job search, I remember the massive code release my team finished just last night. If only she knew the real nature of my job, the one I've built in silence. But I say nothing. I let her continue to soak up the chatter, thinking she's still the center of it all. And deep down, I know there will come a time when she'll realize the truth. It wasn't always like this. I wasn't always the quiet one. As a child, I spoke up when I had ideas, but Sierra's voice always boomed louder in every room. Both of us got love from our parents. Mom cheered for Sierra's dance recitals, while Dad praised me whenever I helped fix his old computer. But despite that, Sierra became the star. She had the bigger personality, the larger presence, and I often found myself in her shadow. I watched from the wings as she collected trophies and attention, while I sat cross-legged in the audience, lost in my science magazines. It wasn't jealousy, not really. More like a quiet acceptance. I realized early on that I liked building things in the background. Sierra liked center stage. Now, at 31, I see how that dynamic shaped me. I learned to listen instead of brag. I learned to code quietly, to pour my energy into solutions, not headlines. Sierra still sees me as that same silent baby sister who never quite measured up. And that's fine most days. But I remember what Dad once said. Naomi, you're our calm in the storm. Back then, I didn't realize how meaningful those words were. But now, each time Sierra belittles me, I replay his words in my mind. I'd rather be calm than loud. But calm doesn't mean powerless. Tonight, I'm hunched over my keyboard in our small downtown workspace. The code is almost perfect, just a few more lines to debug. Nathan is across from me, sipping his energy drink, eyes glued to his own screen. He's the face of our company. I'm the brain. That's how we've always divided it. What started as a dream, an AI engine that could learn and adapt for real-time data analysis, has now become Nova. Nova is the heart of our $100 million company, and it's surreal, even for me. Nathan throws me a grin. Naomi, you're unstoppable tonight. One more push, he says. I nod, flexing my stiff fingers. My code glows in the dark, a few keystrokes, and the system compiles smoothly. That's it, I say. Deployment in T-1 hour. He raises a fist in victory, and I gently bump it with mine. We did it again. Another massive update. Nova's the backbone of new apps that will soon power industries ranging from finance to healthcare, even government. But nobody knows I'm behind it all. I've kept my name off the official site, and people just assume it's all Nathan. I prefer it that way, for now. The next morning, my phone buzzes with a text from Mom. Sierra got laid off, she writes, and there's nothing else. I can almost picture her in her room, fuming and crying, furious that her firm cut costs. I feel a strange mix of emotions. Sierra and I have never seen eye to eye, but I can't help feeling bad for her. By the afternoon, I hear she's already applying everywhere. Then I spot a post from an internal recruiter. New accounting positions at Novate Tech. I glance at Nathan. He gives me a knowing look. She's good at finance, right? He asks. I simply reply, yes, she is. The recruiter offers her an interview, and to my surprise, she nails it. She lands a job, and before long, she's walking into our shiny new office tower, completely unaware that half of it belongs to me. Sierra steps into our modern office, completely amazed by the lounges, the gourmet coffee stations, and the panoramic views of the city. She's told her position reports directly to the CFO, but what she doesn't know is that Nathan and I sign off on the final budgets. It's ironic. She's about to handle accounts I helped secure, but she has no clue. I watch from a distance, a small, quiet smile creeping across my face. My heart pounds a little. She's stepping into my world now, and she has no idea. And maybe that's how it's supposed to be. After all, success isn't about being seen. It's about making an impact, and I'm doing just that. Revelation. Sierra might never understand the depth of what I've built, or the quiet power behind my choices. It's just the way I've always been, working behind the scenes, letting my results speak for themselves. But as the days pass, I start to wonder how long I can keep this secret from her. She's always been the one in the spotlight, the one people notice, and here I am, fading into the background. I'm okay with that, usually. But as I watch her at the office, moving through her day with that familiar confidence, it's hard not to feel a little detached. She's oblivious to how our worlds have collided. I wonder if she'll ever connect the dots. Would she be proud? Or would she resent me for keeping this from her? I don't want her to feel overshadowed, especially now that she's struggling with the pressure of starting over in a new role. But I also know that her world and mine aren't meant to collide, at least not in the way she might expect. I keep my focus on the work ahead. It's time for the next project, another piece of code to perfect, another step forward. I have nothing to prove to anyone, least of all Sierra. But one thing's for sure, the day she finds out about my involvement in Nova, it's going to change everything. Until then, I'll keep quietly building and let her continue to chase the spotlight. Maybe one day, she'll realize that the real power lies not in being seen, but in what you create when no one's watching. Anything beyond a professional relationship. I can't help but exhale a sigh of relief. I'd been dreading this moment, knowing how close Sierra had been to crossing that line. She's ambitious, but in all the wrong ways. I don't want to see her hurt, but I also don't want her pushing boundaries that could complicate things at work. From the break room, I can hear her attempt to hold her composure, though her voice quivers slightly as she tries to salvage her pride. I just thought. She trails off, clearly embarrassed. Nathan's voice softens. I understand. But we're here to build something incredible together. Don't let distractions take away from that. You've got so much potential, Sierra. Focus on that. I can't help but wonder if she's still imagining herself in the role of the chosen one, but as I listen to the conversation unfold, something inside me shifts. I've been watching from the sidelines for so long, but now I realize it's not just about letting the work speak for itself. It's about owning the space I've created, even if I've stayed hidden in the shadows. As Nathan reassures Sierra and she slowly retreats, I wonder how long I can keep holding back. Maybe, just maybe, it's time for the world to see the real me. Not the ghost behind the scenes, but the driving force behind it all. I might not crave the limelight, but it's clear that my presence, whether hidden or not, is undeniable. And Sierra's attempt to claim Nathan's attention for herself? That's just one chapter in a story that's far from over. The balance is delicate, but for now, I'll continue watching, waiting for the right moment to step forward, confident in what I've built. No matter how much Sierra tries to steal the spotlight, it's my code that shapes this world, and sooner or later, the truth will come out. Center for the first time. The idea of being thrust into the limelight makes my stomach churn, but I know it's inevitable. I've managed to stay hidden for so long, but at some point, the curtain has to fall. As I walk into the room, I can feel the shift in the atmosphere. All eyes are on me, the second co-founder, the silent force behind the tech giant they've been working for. I catch Sierra's gaze from across the table. Her eyes are wide, her lips slightly parted, as if she's trying to process the truth she's just uncovered. It's almost as if she can't decide whether to feel betrayed or amazed. Maybe a little bit of both. The room falls into a hushed silence as Nathan smiles warmly at me, making the announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to officially introduce Naomi Sullivan, my co-founder. She's the genius behind much of what we've built. The board members offer polite applause, but I can tell the energy is mixed. Some are excited to finally meet the elusive co-founder. Others are clearly uncomfortable with the sudden revelation. Sierra's expression hardens, but I don't give her the satisfaction of acknowledging her. Instead, I nod politely and take my seat. The meeting proceeds, but it feels different. I can sense the questions hanging in the air about my involvement, about my motivations. There's a palpable undercurrent of tension, especially when the topic shifts to our future ventures. The project we've been developing for months, the one I've been pouring my soul into, is finally coming to fruition. It's exciting, but I know that this moment will be the beginning of many more like it. People will want answers. People will want to know me. As the meeting concludes, Sierra hangs back, trying to maintain a professional front. Her smile is tight, forced. I know she wants to say something, but I can tell she's trying to process everything on her own terms. The tables have turned, and I can almost see the internal battle waging within her. Will she continue to resent me, or will she finally see me for what I am? Not just the quiet sister, but someone who built something real. Later that evening, I sit at my desk at home, reflecting on the events of the day. I'm still not sure if I'm ready to step fully into the spotlight, but I know one thing for sure. There's no going back. The world now knows my name, and with it comes the inevitable questions and expectations. For once, I'm not hiding in the shadows. I'm ready to face what's next, whatever it may be. But as I glance at my phone, I notice a message from Nathan. We're not done yet. There's more to come, but I think you're ready for it. I lean back in my chair, a smile creeping onto my face. Maybe it's time for the world to see what Naomi Sullivan can really do. Public speaking or being the center of attention. The gala is the last place I want to be, but Nathan insists it's necessary.
He's right.
The company needs to see me, and Sierra needs to understand just how far I've come. It's not about showing off, it's about acknowledging my work, my contributions, my place at the table. The venue is grand, glittering with chandeliers and polished marble floors. The buzz of the crowd is overwhelming. I see familiar faces from the company, all gathered to celebrate this milestone. Nathan's voice calls out to me as I make my way through the crowd, offering me an encouraging smile. He's the only one who knows how badly I'm sweating on the inside. As we take our seats for the dinner portion of the evening, I catch a glimpse of Sierra. She's seated near the front, her eyes fixed on the stage, her posture rigid. Her usual confidence is nowhere to be seen. The events of the past few days must be eating away at her. I wonder what's going on inside her head, whether she's regretting everything she's ever said to me, or if she's still clinging to the notion that she's the better sister. Dinner passes in a blur. I'm barely able to focus on the conversation around me. I'm too aware of the whispers, the subtle glances. The board members are all eager to see the two founders together, Nathan and me. I can feel the eyes on me, a strange weight on my shoulders. When the speeches start, it's Nathan who takes the stage first, introducing the night's celebration and the future of the company. Finally, it's my turn. I'm announced as the co-founder, the architect of the technology that's propelled the company to its current success. The room erupts in applause, but the sound feels distant, as if I'm hearing it from underwater. I take a deep breath, walk up to the stage, and smile at the crowd. Nathan stands by my side, but my focus is on one person, Sierra. She's staring at me, her eyes wide, a mix of emotions crossing her face. I know this moment is everything for her. It's her chance to confront me, to see me not as the quiet, invisible sister she's always underestimated, but as the force behind the company she's spent years working for. There's no denying it now. I'm not just a shadow behind Nathan's success. I am his equal, the other half of everything they've built. I open my mouth to speak, but my throat tightens. Words fail me. This is the moment I've prepared for, and yet I feel small. In a room full of people, the one I need to convince is standing right in front of me. Thank you. I finally manage, my voice steady, though my heart is racing. This is truly a milestone not just for me, but for all of us at Novate Tech. Nathan and I started this journey together, and without the incredible team we have, none of this would be possible. I'm honored to stand here today, to continue building what we've started, and to show the world what we're capable of. The applause is louder this time, and this time it feels a little more real. I glance at Sierra again. Her face is unreadable. I wonder what she's thinking, what she's feeling. Does she feel exposed? Or does she see me for the first time, truly see me? The woman who's never needed applause to know her worth. The woman who built something that will last, whether or not she ever acknowledged it. The evening goes on, but I remain on edge. Sierra doesn't speak to me. She doesn't approach me during the cocktail hour or after the speeches. She stays in her corner, trying to blend into the crowd, but I can tell she's not the same. I wonder if this night, this revelation, will be the turning point for us. I'm not sure if it's the beginning of a new understanding or the end of something. What I do know is that I've taken my place in this world, and no matter what happens with Sierra, I'll continue to build, to grow, and to show the world exactly who Naomi Sullivan is.
Sierra.
It's a quiet gesture, one I know won't erase the tension or the weight of the night, but maybe it's the first step towards some kind of reconciliation. I carefully wrap a simple but meaningful gift, a framed photo of us from when we were kids, before everything got complicated. Before the rivalry, before the whispers, before the resentment. As I sit there, my mind races. I want to believe Sierra will understand the gesture. I want to believe she'll recognize the significance of the moment, that I'm not trying to gloat or rub it in her face, but instead offering something that could bridge the gap between us. But I also know that no matter how much I want things to be easier between us, it may not be that simple. I finish wrapping the package, taking one last look at the picture. There's a time when we were close, when we shared everything. I wonder if that version of us can ever return, or if it's been buried under years of misunderstandings, hurtful words, and competition. After a few minutes, I head to her office. The door is slightly ajar. I knock softly before entering. She's sitting at her desk, flipping through papers, but when she sees me, she stiffens. There's no warmth in her smile, just caution, maybe even wariness. She hasn't said a word since the gala, and I wonder if she even knows what to say to me. Sierra. I start, my voice tentative. I wanted to give you something. I hold out the small, carefully wrapped package. She looks at it for a long moment, her eyes flicking between the gift and my face. I thought you might appreciate this. I continue, trying to keep my voice steady. It's not much, but I thought, maybe it's a step toward whatever comes next for us. She finally takes the package, her fingers lingering on the paper for a moment before she slowly unwraps it. The photo stirs something in her. Her expression softens, just slightly, as she stares at the image of us, young and carefree, before the world started to pull us in different directions. I wait for her to speak, unsure if I'm ready for whatever comes next. But the silence stretches, and I can't help but feel a knot tighten in my chest. Finally, she looks up at me, her voice barely a whisper. I didn't know. All these years. I didn't know. I didn't want you to. I reply softly. I wasn't hiding it from you to hurt you. I just wanted to do it on my own. Sierra nods, but there's something in her eyes. Regret, maybe, or guilt. I was awful to you, she says, her voice faltering. All those years. The jokes, the doubts, the things I said. You don't have to apologize. I interrupt gently. I've learned to let go of it. I know you didn't mean to hurt me. I think we were just caught in the wrong kind of competition. Her eyes flicker with something akin to relief, but it's clear the pain is still there. I didn't know what you were capable of.
And that's on me.
I can't change that. I know, I say. But maybe we can start over? Not as the people we were before, but as who we are now. Sierra doesn't answer immediately. She just looks at me, the weight of everything between us settling in. I don't know what the future holds for us, But in this moment, I feel like we're closer to understanding each other than we've ever been. I'd like that, she finally says, her voice steady. I'd like that too. It's not a perfect resolution. There's a long way to go, but for the first time in years, I feel like the door between us is cracked open just a little. And maybe that's enough. For now, the months that follow are a delicate balance of change, patience, and growth. Sierra's transformation isn't immediate, but it's real. She's no longer the sister who once belittled me or downplayed my accomplishments. Instead, she's the one quietly making a difference in the company, proving herself through her work, and slowly but surely, shifting the narrative that once defined our relationship. The subtlety of it all strikes me. There's no grand apology, no dramatic reconciliation, just small, deliberate actions that speak volumes. It's not about the big gestures anymore. It's the quiet, meaningful steps that matter. At work, Sierra's efforts are evident. She's not just another employee now. She's an ally, someone who genuinely believes in the company's vision. Her contributions to the charity initiative are a testament to her growth, and I can't help but feel a flicker of pride when I see the donations coming in. It's like we've found a way to bridge the gap between us, not through words, but through the shared values and actions that define us both. When Nathan jokes about the latest coding challenge, I send him a quick response, but my mind drifts back to that moment during the family brunch. Sierra's quiet words hang in the air, and I can't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. She didn't need to make a grand speech or go on and on about me. She simply acknowledged the truth, and in doing so, gave me something I didn't know I needed: validation. Not just from her, but from my parents, too. They looked at me in a new light. For once, I don't feel overshadowed. I feel seen. Sierra and I don't speak about that moment. We don't need to. There's a mutual understanding between us now. The unspoken bond between sisters has reformed, shaped by the quiet acts of love, respect, and acknowledgement that had been missing for so long. It's not perfect, and I'm not expecting it to be. But we're getting there. In the end, the journey wasn't about triumphing over her or proving myself. It was about growth for both of us. It was about letting go of past hurts, being patient, and realizing that sometimes the quietest truths are the loudest of all. And with that, I know we're both walking a path towards something better together. Please feel free to comment below if you like this. Remember to like and subscribe for more.